up, our squad? 1 o'clock Central Standard Time on a weekday, and it's time for Odd Takes. I am Jerry Bo at Jerry Bo Sports, and that ain't ever gonna change. And to my left-hand side, I pass it like we do in many circles that I sit in to my man Aaron Rabel. That Aaron is Blitz. What's happening, man?
What's up, man? It's a Tuesday. Coming off a massive Astros win yesterday. We were just talking about home runs and Jordan and Freddie Freeman. We got plenty of sports to talk to. We got plenty of bullshit to get to, too. But, man, it's a good day. Weather's gorgeous.
It's a good day.
Enjoy this weather, Houston, because remember, we're about 2 weeks away from 108.
Seriously, that close?
Probably not, but it's going to feel like that soon.
Close.
I'm excited. I got to go mow my lawn after this. It's going to be 85, feel like 89, get done, have a nice cold beer. But then the mowing the lawn in July, when you just boiling, it's so hot outside. Screw that.
When you get sweaty going from your car or from the house to the car, you're like, man, I just took a shower. Like, what are we doing here? Day one, Donna, first one in the house. What's up, day one? Chris Reyes, Pookie's in the house. Alex Villanueva. I can't even say Villanueva no more because we got my man Uriel as well. So shout out to the Villanuevas. They're both in the house. It sounded like an odd couple or something. Queen Bee, I could smell the Astros still off your breath, girl. I know you probably had some drinks yesterday. I know the house was rocking. I was living through those pictures.
She was one of those that probably didn't leave when the game ended. She was one of those that like watched everybody walk out and was like, I'm going to sit here. I don't want to be in traffic.
Or Queen Bee's trying to hit that wherever
that
bar.
Lucky's pub afterwards.
That's what happened to us last time we went with the big crowd. We ended up leaving there. It went to extra innings. We leave there, and we end up, I don't even know what we're doing. Before you can see it, my wife's out here dancing, and I'm like, what is going on out here? Like, let's stop it. No, not stop it. You know I like the ruckus, and that's what we're going to do. We're still going to have that Astros outing at some point here. We're going to keep giving those exclusive tickets out. It's going to be a nice group outing with a lot of beer and a lot of, hopefully, Astros home runs. Let's start right there. And if you want to get on anything, 281-522-6336 if you have any thoughts. But let's start right there with that thought. The Astros home opener, all is good. Home runs, some good playing. And then Jose Altuve comes up with a hamstring injury. It's being quoted as day-to-day right now. What did you think when you first saw it? Some people were, is he pissed?
I saw him start to limp the second he hit the bag because I was watching it in real time, and the second he started to limp, I was like, oh, crap. But then because I saw the way his foot hit the bag, the way he was running, I was like, his ankle might have gotten a little squirrely. You know, my ankles, I'm not an athlete. My ankles roll all the time just walking. I was like, man, maybe his ankle got a little squirrely and he sprained it. But then he sat there and he hung his head. And the second he took off his helmet and chucked it into the ground, I was like, that means he knows what it is. That means he knew. Right and the fact that he was just sitting there and he wasn't bending his leg, because usually with like a knee injury, you'll see guys try to bend their leg and see if they've got that flexibility and that range of motion a little bit. That's always what happens with a knee injury. And so he just sat there and stared down, and I was like, this is quad or hamstring. This is not good. And I was glued to the game the whole time anyways, from first pitch to last, but then I stayed through the entire post-game show and everything, and I was watching, I was waiting.
Hoping.
And then watching him talk to the media afterwards, my heart beat a little bit lighter, and I was like, okay. Because he went out there and he was like, look, it hurt at the time. I'm feeling a lot better right now. And he said, he goes, I feel better now than I expected to when I sat there. He goes, I didn't think I'd feel this fine with it. But yeah, I need to take some time and let the doctors look at it and figure out what's going on. And you know what? If it turns out he's out for a couple months, that's gonna suck.
At least it's now.
But again, it's now, and he's got time. But I'm honestly, let's find some knock on wood that it's not as what we all feared, because that's Houston fan. Houston fan is the second something bad goes, like the second one guy comes up limping, the second one quarterback gets tackled on his shoulder, everybody just throws their hands in the air, goes up. He broke his arm. We're done.
He's dead.
Call the season. Done. Not going to happen. So I think it's a precautionary thing. I'm upset because I don't think he's playing tomorrow, and I'm going to the game tomorrow. And my wife's actually more upset because that's her favorite.
You'll still get the ring, though. The Altuve ring.
Altuve ring's tomorrow.
And a heads up, the game time has changed. Is that correct?
Yeah. So it was first pitch scheduled 7:10. I got an update today from StubHub and from ESPN saying, oh, yeah, no, 5:40 first pitch.
That's a big change.
If you can still make the game, you better. If you can't make the game, you better contact StubHub because they'll give you your money back and they'll give the tickets back to the owner.
So if you're holding a ticket for tomorrow's game, make sure that you plan accordingly. What up? What up? My man Big Boss Marshall, thanks for kicking it with us. Crystal's in the house.
You put that evil on Altuve. And I will say, Bregman did try to play it off, tough guy, when he hurt his. But Altuve also acknowledged the fact that, like, because I think it was Brian McTaggart, if I recognize the voice right. He had asked him, he was like, you know, has this happened before? He goes, yeah, in 2019, I did the exact same thing. It hurt, and I dealt with it, and it took a little bit of time off and took some rehab, but it was, you know, I did what the doctors told me, and I was back normal, and I was ready to go. So I'm hoping that it looks like he knows what he's got, and he's just going to listen to the doctors and rehab it a little bit if he needs to, and he'll be fine.
That's the thing with soft tissue injuries, though. You want to make sure you give it more time than less. You don't want to push them because then you'll end up back to square one. Hopefully it goes quicker than expected, but hopefully he fully recovers. Hopefully the Astros can still maintain, which I think they will be able to. But what do you make of this other one? Lance McCullers, instead of being, I think it was going to be a 15-day, now they put him on the 60?
So they started the season with him on the 10-day. With that tendon in his arm or whatever that went bad with him in the World Series or right before the World Series.
It's crazy how crucial that is.
And now they moved him to the 60-day. This is not optimal.
60-day. That's long. You ain't going to see his boy till June.
It's crazy. I don't know what's going to happen. And this is the thing, is that when he did it last year, the big fear in the ALCS was everybody went, Tommy John again. That's what it's going to be. He's gone for another year. And McCullers, the Astros training staff, James Click, Dusty, everybody was just so adamant of it's not something that needs Tommy John. It's just a strain. It's just a strain. It's just he's going to be fine. He just has to, you know, take some time off and not throw for a while. And then you go into a lockout, and he was trying to work out, and read reports that he was like, yeah, I'd love to do the mandated rehab and, you know, have a pitching coach, but I can't talk to the Astros people because we're on a freaking lockout. And so then it was oh crap. Well, you know, once he gets back, then he's got to take it slow again through, you know, pitchers and catchers reporting / spring training. Maybe it'll be May, maybe the middle of May that we finally see him. And now it's going to be a while. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're finally going to bite the bullet and say, you know what, let's just cut you open and repair whatever the hell needs to be repaired. Or if it's just there is nothing to repair. It's just a wait and see kind of thing with time.
Time is what we're going to have to give it, but hopefully time is on our side because it's the beginning of the year. Big Boss says 60 days is troubling. Yeah, it's concerning for sure with what you have pitching behind Fromber and Verlander. I don't know if there's any trust behind them just yet. We're always here, though. This is how that had always happened. So let's play it out. Let's see what happens here. And hopefully the Altuve injury is, like I said, it's a soft tissue, so it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be the precautionary. When he's ready, they're gonna be like, you know what? Depending on how they're doing, it's gonna be like, you know what? Let's take an extra just so this doesn't happen again. And I'm all right with that because the last thing you want them to do is this to be a reoccurring thing all season long. That's the last thing you want.
Well, you still got years left on his contract. You try to get as much as you can for him, but. Again, he's I think he is the last major player that they've given a longer extension to, more than just the arbitration and short 2-year deal kind of thing. So everybody who's going, oh, can't wait to give Yordan a 10-year deal. Every time a player comes injured on a longer term deal, that's always one more time.
And Yordan,
Jim Crane goes, let's mark that down of why we don't give long-term deals.
And Yordan he's had knee problems at an early age. That boy, I always tell people, though,
we say early age. Do we know his real age?
I was just about to say it right there. That's exactly around the circles that I was talking about. People were like, man, you know that in our countries, in those countries, they come over here and that birth certificate is about 3 years, 4 years light. Tell me I'm lying. And then they looked at him. They said, does that look like the fake? And we went back and started looking at pictures of him, and it was like, damn, I don't know how old Yordan is, but he's old enough to hit 2 homers. I know that. And we should have had the damn props on him. From now on, we got to start looking at these home run props, maybe a little bit of Freddie Freeman props. Why didn't I look at Freeman to go home run against his team? He does it on the first at bat, 5-1. What the hell am I thinking? Actually, I'm not thinking because I didn't even realize what was going on in that situation. You know, Freeman's going to try to jack one.
Pookie says Jordan's real age is on his jersey. He's not 44. I'm not going to give him 44.
Hey,
dude,
you know how it is, though. All of a sudden, you just lost about 5 years. You're like, how the hell? I saw an Instagram video the other day, and it was an 8th grader. And I know puberty's at a different rate for all of us. This man was, I'm talking about full goatee, long. It was not James Harden-ish, but it was like a mid, like, and don't get me wrong, he could have it, but it was like, man, I think this kid, he's been driving to school for 3 years. Like, who is this kid?
Shit, I pointed out yesterday. Kyrie Irving, joke is always black don't crack. Kyrie Irving is 30 years old. He looks like he's 42 years old right now.
What they tell
that dude has cracked.
What they don't tell you is black don't crack, but cracks black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Kyrie looks so much older than he's 30. He's 3 years younger than me. Put me and him next to each other face-wise, not body-wise, because body-wise, I look like a 50-year-old dad right now. But face-wise, you put my face next to him, holy shit. He looks 50 years older than me. His face looks so old, and it might be the fro that he's growing out. Shave it, maybe, get it cleaned up. Maybe he looks a little bit younger, but right now, he looks old. And Jordan, they say he's 24. I'm not going to say he's 24. I would bet, if you're asking me, if
that what they're saying he is?
That's what he's listed as.
Hell no, Jordan ain't 24.
He's listed as born in 1997. No.
Man.
My middle sister was born in 1995. There's no way he's 2 years younger than her.
He got his license in 1997, this guy.
I will say, if somebody's going to sit down with me and say, okay, we have the arbiter of truth. We have God himself that has his birth date right here on a piece of paper. What are you putting it at? $100 to win 1,000. I would put him right at probably 28.
Yeah.
28, 29.
It's good that we're all on the same page about that because I know it wasn't tripping. Now, let's go to the NBA recap. Let's go to...
Pookie says he still got the Uncle Drew makeup on. That's what I made fun of him for yesterday. If you weren't here, Pookie, I said, remember when he did the Uncle Drew movie and he did those commercials and everything? He looks like Uncle Drew now. Just, his hair's not white yet. That's exactly what he looks like. Go look at a picture of him from Sunday night's game. And look at him sitting on the sideline when he's flipping the Boston fans off. He looks like Uncle Drew now.
You're sure right. No, I agree. And he's got a lot of just random grays. And, I mean, don't we all?
I got him in my beard. I'm okay with it.
Take off my hat. But next time I do my hair, we're going to have a midlife crisis talk. Next time I do, we're going to talk about it because I caught something on camera. I'm not going to spoil it yet. But when we get there, we're gonna address this situation. But let's address the NBA situation last night just real quick, not to get too deep into it. But the Sixers 112-97, an ass whooping with a shorthanded Raptors team. Joel Embiid doing MVP type-ish things. Harden's out there trying to draw foul. Man, these referees though. Let's talk about that real quick. These referees have got to quit blowing the whistle so much.
That foul differential between the two. I don't know if it was the final. But I did see it at one point. Somebody took a picture of their TV, and it was, I think, 28 foul shots for the 76ers and 8.
They're just doing too much
for the Raptors. I was like, what?
And that's two
How
games.
Do you, and at that, anytime, okay, any game like that, if I tell you one team has 28 fouls, has 28 free throws, the other team has 8, and I tell you James Harden played on one of those teams, which team are you saying had the 28, or which team do you say he played on?
The team with all the fouls.
Yeah. The team with all the free throws, because that's what happened. Like, that was ridiculous looking at that. And
it was. It really was. And here we are, Sixers making their run. Let's see. We always said whenever Harden went there, it's at least get to the NBA Finals or bust. I don't know if some people are saying, man, it's win it all or bust. But I'm not sure this team can win it all. We're going to find out. And we found out that the Jazz are fraudulent like they always are, and they couldn't beat a Luka-less Mavs team. They ended up losing 104-110. They were 5.5-point favorites, lost outright. Series 1-1. Luka's gonna come back at some point. I saw him after the game on the court, high-fiving, getting a lot. I'm like, all right, that doesn't look like a man that's hobbling too bad. He's gonna be back at some point. Jazz in trouble. And then in the final game, man, what the hell is going on? Nuggets, Warriors. The Splash Brothers are back, even though Curry is not even a starter right now. How the hell did they get so lucky with Jordan Poole? Shea Serrano had the best damn tweet last night. He said the Splash Brothers just picked up a Splash cousin And it says, and isn't it so ironic that his last name is a body of water?
I mean,
think about that. Jordan Poole. He's a Splash Cousin.
It's insane. And again, I'm not the first person to say this. The front office for the Warriors they should be poached by every fucking team out there. Every single NBA team needs to be on the phone with any member of that. If he's the assistant to the assistant to the assistant, call him and say, "Hey, what do you know?" I mean, hell, that's how Billy Beane ended up hiring the dude who ended up turning in Moneyball. He looked at somebody who was like, "Hey, who the hell are you?" "I'm just an assistant." "Cool. You're going to be my assistant now. You're getting a promotion." So you should be on the phone with, just like the guy, and I know our buddy Fred has talked about this, the guy who scouts all the wide receivers for the Steelers. That's a guy whose brain you pick at all times, or you try to hire him or his next in line. Anybody who works in that Warriors front office who has anything to do with scouting, recruiting, any of that stuff, you look at every single one of them from the top guy to the very bottom guy, and you go, "Hey, man, why don't I take you out to lunch for a bit? And why don't we talk about a little job opportunity? Maybe I'm not going to make you my GM. Maybe I'm not going to make you assistant GM yet, but I can find a spot for you that's above the pay grade that you at with the Warriors right now if you bring some of that knowledge that you've absorbed while you're there," because they just keep doing it.
That's what I'm saying. There's something to it. They're not just getting lucky here. There's something to it. Someone in that building, multiple people know what they look for, and again, Poole, they're not going to let him go. Imagine that, and they're still playing without what Wiseman, their big pick. Just think about that. Warriors might be back. Who knows? With Curry coming off the bench, they're out here beating teams by 20 points. And then to Aggie Milkman's point, Demarcus Cousins, what do you do with him? The first game he picked up a tech, and then he tries to act like he didn't do anything. He's one of those people that he didn't do nothing. He's like Eric Gordon for not fouling. What? I never fouled. Every single foul. I didn't do anything. You're like, bro, we just saw you foul. Cousins, I didn't even say nothing to the ref. They run it back like we're not in 2022, and there's a bunch of damn angles. They run it back, and Cousins look at the ref right after the play, and he snaps at him and then takes off running. Then technical. Yesterday, he's trying to fight amongst his own team. He's on the bench, and I believe it was Will Barton coming off the floor. They're pissed off. They're getting ran out. Barton's coming off, and Demarcus Cousins says something to him. All of a sudden, Barton's bucking up like, "Don't come at me. You're the replacement player. What are you even doing here? What do you do with Demarcus Cousins?"
I think he's worn out his time in the NBA. I don't know if he's valuable to a team anymore. I don't know if he's giving you, even off the bench, something that, a middle-of-the-road player can do. I mean, you got to remember, he was a high pick. He was supposed to be the centerpiece for the Kings, and now we'll talk about, he had some comments of, F the Kings, what did they ever do for me? They paid you a lot of money, but yes, I understand. You can be mad at an organization that doesn't want to build around you when they continually have high draft picks. Fine, the Kings are a mess. I'll give you that one. But I don't think he has lived up to the hype that he was when he came out. I don't think, we talk about Anthony Davis all the time of, is he living up to it? We've looked at Zion. Is Zion going to live up to what he is? Anthony Davis, I think, has lived up to what everybody thought he was going to be. I don't think Kyrie's lived up to what we thought he was going to be. If LeBron isn't on that Cavs team, what do we know about Kyrie? Does anybody want him?
If Kyrie doesn't hit that last shot against the Warriors, the Cavs ain't winning that game. You know what I mean? Kyrie took over that game at the end. And
my point being, if we rank, let's take 5 of the top guys who came out in the draft around that time. You have Anthony Davis, you have Demarcus Cousins, you have Kyrie Irving, you have what's his name? Went to Chicago. Damn it. Okay, let's take the 3 of them. Let's just rank. Most lived up to their potential, kind of lived up to their potential, didn't live up at all. Who are you taking?
I mean, to be honest with you, all those guys right now, it's. I guess we got to look up more of a name list, like a group of like 5 or 6, because Anthony Davis, I don't think has lived up to his potential. Not what he was supposed to be coming from that college. He made a lot of money in college that year, and then he came out and he's just been brittle, is what he's been. So, looking at Cousins right now. Check this out. Check how crazy Cousins' career has been. His last team, obviously current team, Denver. Then you go before that, Milwaukee. That was still 2021 to 22. Then he was on Toronto in 2001-22. So he's been on 3 teams this season, this year, right? Then last year in 2020 to 21, he was on 3 teams. Oh, I'm sorry, 2. Lakers or Clippers, Houston. Then in 2019, he was on the Warriors. In 18, he was on the Pelicans. And then you got to go all the way to 17 to go to Sacramento. And that's whenever he's been thrown around. Now, this is what you got to remember. Don't forget, he tried to sell his soul to the devil because remember, when he was up, Cousins could have got a max contract somewhere. Remember, he could have gone and picked. A lot of teams wanted him off the Kings. They wanted to see what he was going to do. Instead, he sold out for a ring. Like, people don't remember that. He sold out, went to Golden State. Remember that? He sold out and took like $5 million or $3 million or something on a 1-year deal. And then he was going to go sign his big contract somewhere. They recruited him like Cousins. You remember that when the Warriors got Cousins, it was like, oh, hell, it's over. It's over. And then you remember what happened? He got hurt in the first practice. He didn't even make it to the game. It's crazy because I'm remembering this as I'm speaking about it. Like, you remember that. He tried to sell his soul for an NBA title. He said, man, do I go get paid right now? Or do I just take a 1 year with the Warriors and then I could go get paid my max? Yeah, I could do that. And then instead, boom, season-ending injury. And then now you've seen him thrown around. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, yeah. Crystal, thank you for the bits. Skinny Money, thank you for the bits. I'm going to go through when we do this marble race. I'm going to write down some of these. I'm just going to look at 2010, 11, 12, and 13, and we'll pick out some of the top names on that draft. Just in the top, let's say, 5 picks of that draft, maybe 10, and I'll pick out 5 or 6 names. We'll look at those guys who we remember being when they were in college, coming out going, dude, this guy's going to change the NBA. He's going to, and we'll see if they lived up to it or not. But
let's get to this
let's get to cheating.
Yeah, let's get to cheaters. We're always going to do odd takes, cheaters edition. If you see some cheaters out there, any kind of cheating content, gossip, throw it our way. Feel free to anytime tag us at Aaron is Blitzed, at Jerry Bo Sports. And we'll bring it up. But this is something else. I ran across this on Facebook, and it's been making its rounds because people can't believe it. And it reads this, a Craigslist post from Dallas. Let me find out it's one of the Odd Squad. $1,000 hiring man to test my girlfriend's loyalty. Looking for a good-looking guy to test my girlfriend's loyalty while she's on a girls' night. This Saturday, 4/9/22. Applicant needs to be 6 foot plus, 21 to 40 years old. Knowing how to country dance is preferred. Picture of you will be required. Yes, I know this is crazy, but I pay well, and it's for a good cause. What the hell, Aaron? What the hell? So I guess she likes, he obviously stated the things that she would be looking for. A 21 to 40-year-old dude. She's into guys that are at least 6 foot tall. And if you can country dance, you probably got a chance.
So I will say, not anymore. I mean, I can't country dance. My wife and I go and do it. But the days of being a younger single man when you could country dance and go always were interesting because there were, I'm not going to say how many times, but more than once, you would show up to the bar as a single man, no date. You knew how to dance. You would find a group of girls out there for girls' night. And some of them were in their mid-20s, some were in their late 20s, some were in their 30s. And quite a few of them would have a ring on. And if you could dance, they would know. It's just girls' night. I don't have a dance partner. I'll go ask the cute guy who can dance, or the average guy who can dance, or the troll who can dance if you look at me. And that was always the interesting part of the night is you and a bunch of your guys out there just taking shots, pounding beers and stuff, having fun, doing that stupid punching game, and then having, late 20, early 30s woman tap you on the shoulder and go, hey, I saw you dancing with her earlier. You can dance real well. You want to dance? And you go, damn right.
I'm down.
I'm
at
down.
Big Texas. You're reminding me I'm at Big Texas. You damn right I can dance, girl.
Big Texas, Red River, Whiskey River. God, what else? What was the other one? Mazzone's, which is over there in Cypress that closed down. I mean,
let me add on to this. This is how much you can expect to get paid to help this man find out. Pay $100 just to show up to the bar. So, okay. We'll also pay your bar tab up to $50. I appreciate it. And this is where the incentives kick in. The bonuses. $50 if she does a shot with you. $100 if you get her to dance. $200 if you get her to kiss you on the cheek. $200 for a sit on your lap. $500 if she kisses you on the lips. $300 upgrade from the cheek. $500 if you get the number. And $1,000 if you take her home or back to hers. We'll need proof of each of these things to collect payment. Either you or a third party could take pictures or record. What the hell is going on?
So there are two things that went through my mind because I saw this a couple days ago. I think I saw this on Friday night when I was sitting on the couch. And I laughed my ass off. There are two things that I saw, or two things that went through my mind. One, dude is one of those that just likes to see his girl get taken by other dudes. And maybe that's what he likes. You know, I ain't kink shaming. If that's what you like, you want to see, you know, your wife or your girlfriend, you know, go out and get it with some other guy, go for it. If that's what your thing is, that's what your thing is. Two, the other thing, the pessimist in me went, oh, they're setting somebody up to be robbed. They're setting somebody up for something like that. Because if you tell her, like, hey, I'm going to set this dude up. He's going to come out. You're going to invite him back to the house, and then easy. We just rob his ass. Like, what's he going to do? Complain to the cops that he went on Craigslist looking to go make some money by hitting on some woman?
I mean, no, you thought on a whole nother level. I just think that you got to.
My mind always goes to somebody's behind the door with an axe, and they're going to kill me, or they're going to shoot me.
I think we got a psycho on our hands here. I think this is what we have. My question is, though, why are you even going to pay? Like, say your girl does do, what if she goes through all these and now you got a hefty bill? You still going to pay and then you still going to stay with her? Like, this is, what are we doing here?
Think about this. I will say for this guy, if he's willing to pay, what did we say? Is that $1,000 total for everything? No, $1,000, $2,000, $1,500 plus, he's probably looking about $2,000 for everything, including drinks and all that stuff. Cool. $2,000. What if this dude is on the verge of thinking she might be the one, but he's got a buddy who goes, man, I don't feel good about her. I feel like she might cheat on you. And he's on the verge. He's looking at engagement rings. He's like, nah, I think she might be the one. Well, engagement rings run $4,000, $5,000? If you plus, let's say you get married and then she gets half your shit when you divorce anyways. That probably $50,000 versus $2,500, $2,000 right now to find out if she would cheat on you. That might be worth it in the end.
Biggie says he wants out of this relationship and just looking for a reason. Whatever it is, this is going to cost him. And I just thought, man, what the hell is going on? This man's going to spend, if you're out there having to not doubt your girl this much to put her up to something, you got to go with your gut, like they say. And we're going to go with our guts here. It's time for marble races. And we're going to see who's the fastest marble. We're going to see not this race, but at the end of the show, a $10 cash app for the marble race. So this is a little warm-up race. Don't go anywhere. Please share it on your social medias. This is our takes.
All right, Odd Squad, let's let this, I like this, a warm-up race. Something to get you loose, something to get you stretched out, ready to go. All right. As soon as I get this loaded, we'll start this thing. Oh, I agree, Dre. If he doesn't trust her, I mean, you got to know. But I'm just trying to think of what are the possible scenarios behind all that stuff. Alan, you jumping the gun early. Endurance test. All right, let's do this. Wait for it to load, Alex. Now, exclamation point play in the chat. And I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Exclamation point play in the chat to get in there. And then you'll get your marble. I'm going to give you 45 seconds to get in there. Alex does have the record on this one for the group. Oh yeah, so go get these draft picks while you're putting in your numbers because you got 30 seconds. All right, I've given you guys enough time. Let's hit start. Let's run this race. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Pookie, you're mean. Some people control alt delete. If you don't know what control alt delete does by this point in time, by 2022, maybe you don't need a computer anymore. Either that or you just got your first computer. You were living in Amish town. Round and round and round. Everybody rolls. Let's look at this track real quick while everybody's rolling around. What the hell is that over there? I don't even know what that is, but that looks good. I guess that was like the mock-up that they made for it before they designed it. I don't know. I don't know how any of this coding and designing game thing works. Shit. Oh, wow. We already got people down there going. Goldie's out there. Steven the Weather Guy's out there with a good lead on everybody. Let's see. Everybody else is way back there. There you go, Steven and Goldie. Dre. Down the hill. Well, Goldie and Dre are... Well, no, Dre's down the hill, too. Look at that. Don't get dizzy. Pookie's not far behind. Seamonts is out there. Dude, Steven the Weather Guy just keeps making his lead go further and further. Unless he gets stuck in this turbine. Ooh! And Dre takes the lead now. Looks like Dre's ahead of Alex Villanueva's record. Because that's his ball back there. That was the record-setting ball. Beerman Greg will tell you next time. It's just in the chat, you put the exclamation point play on there, and it gives you a ball, and then you have no control over it. It's just random how your ball rolls through the course. But stick around. We'll do one at the end of the. We'll do one at the end for that $10 Cash App. Man, Dre is just rolling through it. Dre set a new course record. Look at you. And Steven the Weather Guy, looks like you're going to be in 5th after getting stuck in that turbine. Hey, it's better than nothing. I mean, this is all for bragging rights and a warm-up anyways, so. And here comes everybody else. Wow, it's like a snowball effect. Or an avalanche. An avalanche of marbles. Look at that. Good job, Dre. It's a good warm-up there. And he cut 3 seconds off of the best time that was held by Alex Villanueva. Nicely done. All right, guys. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, Marbleheads. Thou shalt not cheat. And Dr. Dre was a running, and he was a running. Winner. A good little warm-up. What up, always one team? I'm late as huh? Hey, it's all good, though. You're here. You showed up at the right time. because today is expect the unexpected, and we never expect you to be late. You're always one of the home team people. You're always one of the ones that cracks the first beer here. So expect the unexpected is where we're going to start. Welcome into the show, Ivan. Expect the unexpected. We're going to start with this first one. Again, if you want to get in on the show, 281-522-6336. If you want to wait around for the free lunch, we call it, we're not eating prime rib around here, but $10, I think, could get you some good Chick-fil-A or something. You can figure it out. $10 free cash app to whoever wins that last marble race. You don't have to do anything. Expect the unexpected. What do we got here first? Okay, there's been a fight for TV rights going forward after this season. As we know, DirecTV is no longer going to be carrying Sunday Ticket, the coveted Sunday fanatic football guy that sits down and says, man, I want to watch every game. How do I do that? Well, it's going to cost you about $340. And you got to have DirecTV too. You're like, man, with DirecTV sucks. We're like, well, yeah, that's the only way to watch every game out of market. Well, DirecTV, craziness. I didn't know they were losing so much money. But either way, it was thought to be Amazon. It was thought to be a few other front runners. But Apple TV Plus is said to be the front runner as of right now. And it looks like Sunday Ticket's going to be on there.
And they are cleaning up. Between Friday baseball now to Sunday Ticket is going to be there. This is going to be interesting. I think they're pedal to the metal on every single piece of sports programming we want. We're just going to go get. Let Amazon have Thursday Night Football. Nobody watches anyways. The ratings are always down for Thursday Night Football because it's crappy teams usually. We'll take Sunday Ticket and we'll maximize it. And people cutting the cable, DirecTV, a lot of people, I saw just looking through social media when I was reading through it, people were ecstatic because they were like, F DirecTV, they suck. I can never get anything when it rains, which, yeah, you can't. As long as you got a good internet connection and you're willing to pay Apple TV, that works. And you also get Ted Lasso. Look at that.
Come to find out, check this out, though, because you figured DirecTV was making some kind of bread having that NFL licensing. No. Comes to find out, since 1994, they're down $2.5 billion, not million, $2.5 billion as a company. It's time. So what does this mean right now? This is going to be the death of DirecTV because this is probably the only thing that was helping them try to kill off that debt. No one else wants the service. Let's be real about this. I got DirecTV right here. Damn it. I just thought about that right now. RIP soon. And that sucks because I'm going to have to take down all those boxes that we just mounted. Let's get out of DirecTV, but expect the unexpected. This is what you can expect. NFL Apples is what we're going to call it. 281-522-6336. Expect the unexpected. Let's get to this next one here. Wide receiver divas, but I'm not going to say so much divas because sometimes you say, you know what, he has a point. I just say diva-like as far as scrubbing your social media accounts. A.J. Brown is the newest member of the social media scrubbing. Is A.J. Brown good as done as far as being a Titan?
No, I don't think so.
I think we could fix this.
I think they can fix it. Again, I say it every time because this is what, the fourth, fifth time we've only been doing this show since January 28th.
Money.
This is we're not even February, March. We're not even at April 28th yet. We haven't been doing this show for 3 months. We've had 8 players that have tried this shit. Money fixes everything. And the Titans want him. They just are going to play hardball because that's how negotiations work. He's going to end up still in the Titans. They're not going to let a receiver like him walk. I said that. I would never have thought the Chiefs would have traded Tyreek Hill. I'm okay with it. What you got back for it? Sure, why not? You didn't want to pay him that kind of money that the Dolphins wanted to pay him. Fine. But I think eventually they're going to come to the table. They're going to agree on a deal. Adam Schefter put out, 4 or 5 NFL, big name NFL wide receivers have already said, yeah, I'm not showing up to off-season workouts. And some of them are guys who want more money. Some of them already have that deal, and they're like, I'm still not showing up to off-season workouts. I don't care. It's off-season workouts. I don't care. I'm not doing it. So we're going through this every year.
What do you do, though, now? Okay. Does the word contract not hold weight anymore? because these guys are all guys that were not supposed. I mean, these guys want their money. They want job security. So you gotta. Is it better if you lock them up now to show them, hey, or is it, man, it's not time yet? Like the Titans, for example, they just had to give Tannehill money the year before, right? And then they gave Henry his money. It's like, brother, I mean, we know you're coming up, and you know there's a market for A.J. Brown right now. I mean, who doesn't want a young receiver? But then you got like Tarek McLaurin. It's like, man, is there a market for him? Yeah. What do you do? What do you do, though? Like, what do you do here? DK, Metcalf. Man, I thought we were going to have a little more of a run.
I mean, and this is the interesting thing. Like, A.J. Brown, I can kind of understand. He's in his final year of that contract. He would like a long-term plan. I mean, a lot of these guys, when you get to that point, you want more of a long-term plan because sometimes you want to go, okay, is this the city I'm setting down roots in? And yes, you can be traded at any point, but trades usually, aside from this year, we usually never saw big names being just moved willy-nilly like baseball or basketball. The NFL, are they moving to that permanently? I don't know. But a lot of times, guys will get to that last year of their contract and go, you know what? I want some security. I want to know that this is the city I'm going to put down roots in over the next 5-6 years. Fair enough. DK Metcalf, same thing. He's in the final year of his contract. Not a wide receiver, but Kyler Murray bitching and complaining. He's still got 2 years left on his deal. And I get it. He's not making a lot of money this season compared to what he will make in the next season, but he's still got he's got this season and next season. And what all these players need to remember is you're going to pull this shit and you're going to go, I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to show up until I get paid. There's that tool that teams have. If you're going to pull that, they're going to franchise tag your ass.
Yeah.
And if you decide to be that guy and you go, you know what? I'm not playing another down. Cool. Well, you want a raise? This is your raise offer. Franchise tag or nothing. And that way, if you do get hurt, I'll wash my hands of you because that's what happened.
You remember the NFL changed the rule where they can't just, remember they used to slap you on your hand for missing actual preseason. Those work out. Right now, we're still, like Aaron said, we're still before the draft. I mean, so these are like those preliminary, but they're saying they're not going to show up. Well, before it would be like, man, this guy's getting fined $58,000 a day. And then when he showed up, they'd be like, it's cool, bro. Don't worry about it.
We'll waive it. Yeah.
The CBA, it changed that. They can't do that. Whatever that person misses, that person has to pay. And again, another to Aaron's point, has to be one of the craziest off seasons. Whenever he says that, if you really think about it, then we're caught up in the moment. Think about how crazy it was. You might not ever have this kind of situations again. One, obviously, with the Watson situation, a young quarterback caught up in a mix like that, already wanting to leave. Market opens up. Somebody changes the landscape of football by giving them a fully guaranteed. Cool. Then you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback that's disgruntled as well, having trouble with Seattle, his coach and Carroll, and all of a sudden Russell Wilson's on the move. Then you got other guys like statues that people are giving up on, like Matt Ryan. Like, man, you still getting paid money for, like, we just can't pay you that. I know there's someone out there wants a Matt Ryan. Here comes the coach. Yeah, we'll take a Matt Ryan. We're only a Matt Ryan away. See what I'm saying? And all of a sudden that trickles down. Aaron Rodgers, is he going to leave? Is he not? Then Devontae Adams, arguably the best receiver in the league, gone. Tyreek Hill, gone. Like, this is big. Like, people don't realize that Brady leaves, comes back. Like, when are we ever going to have another offseason? Usually it's like NBA playing the drama game. You know, and then NFL's like, man, I don't expect that. I mean, you expect crazy, but it's like, how crazy are we going to get? Well, this is as crazy as it gets, and we're not even at the NFL draft yet.
Yeah, I mean, this offseason is going to be insane. I mean, so A.J. Brown is set to make just under $4 million this year.
He gets to get paid. And
And
you remember this, not to even cut you off. Remember, he ended the season hurt. Remember after that Titans game and he took a picture in the hospital and then he had to get surgery and he said, man, I held it down from like week 4 or something crazy. He said, it was like, how the hell did you play hurt? So in his head, he's got to be thinking, man, if I get hurt again like that in my final year before a contract, what if it's a little more serious? You remember that he took a picture in the hospital bed and said, hey, don't, basically paraphrasing, don't question my toughness ever again. I just held it down, and he showed proof. Doctors told me like in week 4 or 6 or something that it should be done, and I've played. And here we are. And now I'm going to get surgery. So there's a big market for him. He needs job security just like anybody. Anyone that wants it. Does he deserve it? Has he earned it? Do you think that he earned it? Or is it right now you're paying him right now for what he can be?
I think you're going to pay him for what he can be if you're going to pay. But that's the negotiation. This is why I'm not a GM. This is why I'm not paid to make these decisions, I can see the potential there, and I think it's somebody you want to hold on to. Because, you look at the performance he's had in his career so far, that's with Ryan Tannehill as his quarterback. Let's not act like Ryan Tannehill is even in tier 2 of quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not.
No.
Not at all.
He's getting paid like one, though.
He is. And that's, we've talked about, that's the going market for quarterbacks. But let's not act like you take Ryan Tannehill and put him on a different team that put him on this comes to mind. All right. Kyler Murray wants out. He doesn't like the Cardinals because they don't want to pay him early. Put him on the Cardinals. What do you think the Cardinals are doing?
Who? Putting who
Tannehill.
on?
Swap Tannehill to the Cardinals.
Hell,
do you think they're doing the exact same thing that they did with Kyler Murray?
No.
Maybe a little bit less?
Probably a lot less. And he's been blessed with having a big run game and a coach that can usually outcoach other guys. You see, it's just they overshot the gun. They went quick. They said, man, as soon as they got him for Miami, they said, man, he can be good. And then what happened? Tannehill lost his offensive coordinator, now Falcons coach, and it was over. It was over. All those little misdirections that they were using, then all of a sudden what happened? Henry's hurt a whole year pretty much. Henry is hurt, missed the majority of the season. Ryan Tannehill has to hold it down. No, he can't hold it down. Somehow, though, the Titans still get the number 1 seed. Craziness. And then
where does that go?
Boom, lose first round. One and done. Expect the unexpected. Let's get to the next one. Expect the unexpected. Does Woj have a point here? Gamblers, I know we have a few knuckleheads like me in the crowd. Does Woj have a point here?
We're going to see more of this in the league. Nothing to do with, there's a different dynamic with Kyrie Irving in Boston. Mm-hmm. But as gambling becomes more prevalent in the arena, people gambling on almost everything that goes on with a game, and they're drinking, players, organizations, and you talk to them, they already feel it in the arena. And when people are losing money in real time and they're pointing to a player on the court that said, hey, I bet you to score more points in the second quarter than somebody else, and I lost. You're adding an element to that we're not talking as much about, but is a real factor in this league. And I think you are going to see more instances of fans being even more vitriolic toward players in this league. And it's an issue they're going to have to deal with, but it comes, I think, with the influx of gambling money that everyone's going to profit off of, both players and the league and the BRI. Yeah. But it's going to impact the way the relationship between fans and players in real time.
What do you think? Does he have a point?
So I will say there's a couple of holes I want to poke in his argument, or maybe at least one. The gambler that's betting such detailed props like quarter points scored head to head, that's not your Joe Schmo average gambler. Those are guys who are actually familiar with gambling, who look into it, who, study, every now and then you'll get a dumbass like me who likes, pulling stuff like that out of his ass. But you got to understand, the guys who are usually making those detailed bets, they're guys who understand, and yes, they'll get mad, but I don't think they're the ones who are going to be causing trouble, because they're the ones who are also going, this is my career. I make my career on whether or not player A can do something for a night. And if he can't, you know what? That's my fault for taking a dumb bet.
Exactly.
I think casual fan, when they're betting totals, they're betting point spreads. Yeah, you can do that. But, most of these fans are just rabid. I can't put aside the emotional connection I have to my team, so I'm going to be mean to another human being kind of thing.
There was this guy that got popular it was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, man. Parlay something they called him. Parlay, whatever his first name. Either way, he made such a name that big people in the industry started. Oh, Darren Rovell, that's who it was. Rovell caught on and made a whole article about him. Well, this guy ended up losing his mind. He won like something like $500,000 worth in parlays in a short amount of time. Well, this dude ended up going crazy, and when he started losing, he started searching these players down and figuring out their phone numbers or finding them on social, whatever, and death threatening them. But he's saying stuff like what exactly he was gonna do, like sliding of the throat and putting him in a coffin and burying it and, making it go in water so he can't get in the what happened? The FBI said, come here. And they went and got his ass. That boy got jail time.
And every now and then you're going to have somebody who's just completely nuts off their ass. That there are psycho people in the world. There are crazy in the world. There's evil in this world. That's going to happen from time to time. And always one team points it out the best. Shit, what do you think NFL players have been dealing with fantasy football for 20 years, 30 years now? People like that get upset all the time. And this is just going to carry it on. It's, it's also, I'm not going to say part of the game, but there is going to be every now and then somebody who's angry. Man, I bet you to score 50 points and you didn't do it. Well, you're an idiot for betting on somebody to score 50 points in
fantasy
the game.
Football,
dummy.
though. You've seen fantasy football heads.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden the players, they're aware of it. How many times in the new NFL that you see the guy runs and he just slides at the 2-yard line because it's the smart football play instead of getting the other team the ball back? How many times does that happen? It happened this year plenty of times. It happened in that Cleveland Browns Houston game whenever Chubb broke that run down there because I had the Browns minus the spread. I'll never forget that. Again, things that happen. Expect the unexpected. Let's keep going here. Would you trust this barber? You show up to the barber. What do you look for in a barber? When you walk in a barber shop, what do you look for, to know that the barber's good? Like clientele sitting in there, like a waiting list? Do you look like at other picture? What?
So the barbershop I go to, I've been going to for just over a year now. I like it because they have encouraged every single barber to start their own Insta just of their work. So you can go through, when you go to their website, you have all the different barbers that are there, male and female, and then there's a link to their Instagram account of just their work.
Okay.
And so I go and I look, and that's how I ended up with the dude, his name's Christian's, right over here at Headliners. I looked at all the work that he does, and I was like, that dude. So I walked in there and I said, look, not the last post you hid, but the 3 before that I want that kind of detail on my fade. And he was like, deal.
I saw their Facebook promotion. They did a Facebook promo, and it popped up. Okay, I might have. So check this out. You walk into your barber, and even worse, you take your kid, and your barber does this. Look how focused this barber is. Look at his eyes. Boy, pulled out a meth pipe. That man is smoking methamphetamine.
Look at his eyes.
Look at his eyes. Super focused. The kid's like, oh, shit.
That kid's just going to, shave it all off.
That boy is super focused. I don't know what the hell they're playing in here. What do you do right there? Do you stop him and say, hey, dog?
I've been worried he's going to cut my kid.
Do you stop him and you say, hey, dog? Or I don't know.
Well, okay.
He's laser focused though.
I would love to say that I would be like, yo, hold up. You need to stop for a second. If it's my hair, maybe I would do that. But at the same time, you never mess with a meth head.
No,
ever.
No.
Ever. If you're in, nope. Just like, we were taught as kids, you run away from somebody who pulls a knife on you. You fight somebody who pulls a gun on you because guess what? That knife is going to hurt a lot more. And usually if they pull that gun, you're not going to outrun the bullet. So you got to fight for your life to get that gun away from them. You don't ever fight a meth head. You just turn around and book it.
Beer Man says he lets his youngest 4-year-old cut his hair, so why not?
Shit, Barry, is Barry back to cutting his hair in his garage? He did that for a long time in his radio career.
Crystal makes an excellent point. 90% of tattoo artists are high, and the detail in a tattoo, and a lot of those guys
But what are they high on?
That's the question. And don't get me wrong, the meth is just.
I've hung out in some tattoo parlors. I haven't hung out in a lot of them. I've never seen any of them doing key bumps or smoking meth while working with a needle on somebody.
And that
a lot of times, they'll go outside for a quote unquote smoke break and they'll come back smelling a weed. Okay, fine. That also weed is known to calm your nerves and get you more relaxed, so you're paying attention. Somebody just strung out on meth, if you come near me with a needle, nope. You can kiss my ass. I'll kill you.
Expect the unexpected. Next time you go to the barber shop, if you see your barber taking a quick break.
Are you gonna start putting your barber through a drug test?
Is there any worse feeling than getting a bad haircut whenever you get home and you look and you're thinking, I paid for this. Like I paid him and then you think about, and I tipped him good. You're just pissed off, right? Like you're just pissed off. Or like even worse when you're trying to do something with your beard and then they take a chunk and you're just like, man, like I paid for this.
I've had more bad haircuts in my life than I can go into detail in 1 hour.
Pisses you off.
I could do a 3-hour special,
right,
on just bad haircut stories in my life.
Right when you look at yourself,
and
you're like,
or it's even worse when you go, hey, I wanna fade a 3 on the side, and they go, okay, and they go the 3 right down the middle of your fucking head.
Have you ever had
before a job interview? Nonetheless,
then you go in there. That's hilarious. I've had a clip fall off on the middle of a haircut. You know, it just going and you're like, hey, whoa.
I had
what happened?
Trust me, I've had bad haircut after bad haircut. I've had just a lifetime of it, and I'm only 33 years old. I could regale you with stories for hours on shit haircuts if I wanted to.
Expect the unexpected.
My barber pulls out a fucking a meth pipe. I'm bouncing out of that chair. Bye.
Okay, how about if that meth pipe, if this is how he got it? Have you ever seen somebody try to buy drugs with this?
Because you're going there, man. The ATM ain't working, so I got 30 tokens, you know what I mean?
30 tokens?
I'm saying you can
tokens?
take these Jones, probably get $1 each, you know what I mean? Tokens, what up? You telling me $1.25 for one of these
Bro,
Jones.
what the fuck I'm gonna do with tokens if I got a card? Huh?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, these
He's
Jones
trying to sell bus
30
tokens.
For fucking a 30.
He's trying to
You know
trade
what, these Jones-
tokens
you
for
get
drugs.
$1 each for these Jones. You can give them, tokens went up, now you telling me $1.25 for one of these Jones.
They only
So you
give
go
a
turn
dollar
those tokens
for
into
fucking
money.
dollars, cuz.
And then he has the audacity to
Fuck,
say
that's
the
like
bank
walking
is
in pockets,
closed.
Fucking 30 tokens from my pocket. Come
So
on,
they
man.
so they give you 35 for these Jones.
No, I'm not walking in pocket with no
ATM ain't
fucking
work.
30
So
tokens.
we
I'm
got
not.
another ATM.
You expect
I'm
the
not
drug
going
dealer to go
to
turn these into somebody? Hey,
There's always some bullshit with you, cuz.
So these tokens chop.
yeah,
Well, I won't
it
say
is a. The
You're gonna. What is this?
that boy try to buy drugs with tokens. This guy put. I was looking.
Let me
into
tell
the
you here. Hold up. So I don't have the money for my weed, but I do have this Dave & Buster's card. You know what? I got 60,000 points on this Dave & Buster's card. That's just the tickets. I also got another 20,000, so you can go play 20,000 points worth of games, and then 60,000 tickets on there. You know what you can get for the 60,000 tickets at Dave & Buster's? You can get a nice little stringy hand thing that sticks. You can get a couple of Tootsie Rolls. You can get one of them spider rings. Like, why can't you make a deal with me on this?
The deals I've seen, you see crackheads pull out like electronic, you know, and they'll just say, "Hey, I'll trade you this for that." I know one guy. I worked with him, and his brother was his brother-in-law was a crackhead. Basically, he went to school with his brother-in-law, but I ended up working with the guy that married his sister, or whatever. Either way, he comes and tells me, he's like, "Bro, that dude that you knew from high school is such a crackhead that we let him stay the night at our house." He said, "When we woke up, he said the washer was gone." I said, "The washer?" He said, "Yeah." And he couldn't get the dryer. He said because it was like he made a decision that like halfway he just left it. And I said, "Why didn't he take it?" He said, "Because he tried to take it in a car." I said, "How the hell did he take the washer?" He said, "God knows."
How did you not wake up?
Check this out. He's at work, so he was working overnights at this thing that's how I met him. So then he said when he gets home, shit's gone. He said he knew where that dude where he went and got his dope from, so he went. And he said he found the dope dealer. He knew him, and he was like, "Man, how much did he trade you that for?" He said, "Man, he gave me that washer for a 40." He said, "Bro, that's my washer. Like, can I get my?"
Now, I will say, I've
like-
delivered washers before, and so when you pick up the old one, washers, unless you do the specific drain, they're heavy as shit because they have all that water in the bottom.
I told him, I said, "How the hell did he do that on his own? Put it in the car? Like, how did he?" And he said, "Bro, you never underestimate a crackhead. Like,
No.
a crackhead's gonna make it happen." I said, "What the?" I said, "Why would you?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Bro, like my washer was gone." I said, "What the hell?" And then he said, like you said, he made a business decision. Like, I think he might have said, man, I'll come back and get the dryer. He said he left the dryer like halfway in between, you know, that room, the laundry room and the driveway. He just kind of took it out. It was because they had one of those outdoor laundry rooms.
Crystal says her cousin traded her hoo-ha for some meth, and 9 months later she got pregnant. She had a baby. Crystal, if I have a cousin like that, that's not my cousin anymore. And maybe it's just because I'm prejudiced against people who do drugs like that. And I don't care if you do weed, but you do that hard shit. But nope, I ain't got time for you in my life. I got too much at risk. I got plans for my life. I ain't about that. Like, ooh,
let's get to the next one.
Good
Expect the
Lord.
unexpected is where we are now with things. The Cash Me Outside girl is what you need to call her. You remember this girl. You remember her. She's grown up, I guess, somewhat in front of your own eyes, because she just bought a crib. You know when people say, man, I just bought a house, and yeah, now you got a mortgage. No, a girl bought it $6.1 million cash. She's got bread. She's the one that broke OnlyFans. First day she did OnlyFans, she opened it up $1 million in one day. She was the one that held that record for a while. I don't know why the hell people are paying her in the first place.
Bunch of dirty motherfuckers.
I don't know why the hell they're paying her. And she was also, and I'm not even just saying this to be, you know, to be hip, but Bad Bobby. You know, that was how they spelled it, Bad Bobby. Instead of Bad Barbie, Bad Bobby.
Bahad. BHAD. Bahad.
Bobby. So, like, whoever's paying her, whoever's giving her money, she got bread. And then I heard that this wasn't even her first house. She's got another house in that same neighborhood that's way smaller, but this is the big one. $6.1 million cash.
Ugh.
If she can make it,
don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah,
kids.
don't give up on your dreams. You remember this.
And look at the plastic surgery she had from being 16 years old there to what she's now 20 or something like that.
She got implants and everything now, dude. She's out here trying to $6.1 million cash.
Hoes gonna hoe.
Hoes gonna hoe. Let's get to the last one before we hand you off to Barry. J.R. Smith, the NCAA golfer. Man, what the hell is going on? J.R. Smith was drafted right out of high school, so he never lost his eligibility. So now that the NIL's got all these rules where, you know, kids in college can get paid, J.R. Smith has gone back to school at North Carolina A&T, and he is a golfer on the team. At which point, you thinking marketing and these kids getting paid, they were like, you know, J.R. Smith, what's more marketable than that? Who else we got on here with golfing? He got a deal. Isn't this crazy?
I mean,
there was a loophole. No one was expecting that loophole.
I saw when he went back to school and he decided, you know what, I never went to college. I'm going to go to college, and I'm damn good at golf now, so I can get on the team. And I don't hate him for that. Like, what's his net worth right now? What is J.R. Smith's net worth? Because I get it. Make what you can. If somebody's willing to pay you for something, go for it. But at the same time, how many broke-ass college students out there could probably use that NIL money and divide it up between 10 of them, and then they actually, you know, could pay for school? Because I don't know how many schools are paying golf full ride scholarships. You're still going into debt when you're going to golf. He's worth $35 million. Like, are you?
He's got bread.
You know what? Make your money.
Something.
Make your bread, dude.
NIL.
Go for it, J.R. Smith. I mean,
and now it's time for you to make your bread, because we're going to give you some time here. There's a $10 Cash App. I'm going to pay for, and I saw some good recommendations earlier. Someone said 2-for-1 wings today. Aggie Milkman said go to BK and you get the 2 for $5. 2 for $5.
It's Taco Tuesday. Somebody out there is running specials for tacos.
You telling me in this society, I know there's inflation, I know there's all types of things. $10 can buy you lunch somewhere, and this $10 is for you, and it's free. And it's just a little thank you for you checking in with us every day, for you giving us a reason to turn these cameras on and try to create magic. And that's what we do here. We try to keep you entertained. I hope we did that. So signing off like I always do. Thank you so much. Please, 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 please stay safe. Enjoy your gambling. Bet on Liverpool. I think Liverpool's about to beat the hell out of Man U. It's starting right now. And other than that, I love you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
All right, Odd Squad, let's do this marble race. You heard the man. $10 Cash App to the winner. Let's pick a random. Let me get this up so y'all can see. Let's pick a random track. No, not speed run. Not Portal Purgatory again. That sucked. Devil's Cast. Space Chase. That'll give us, that's only, the record on there is a minute 40, or the average time's a minute 44. That'll get you guys to bury just in time so we don't miss too much like we did yesterday. All right, exclamation point play in the chat. Beerman Greg, there you go. You're in there. Exclamation point play in the chat. I'm going to give you 60 seconds. If you're out of the room just listening to us and you're not near your keyboard, run your ass back to your keyboard and put exclamation point play in the chat. And we're going to start this in just under a minute. All right, 15 seconds, and I'm hitting play. 15 seconds. Get your marble in there. All right, let's do this. And here we go. $10 on the line. Let's look at what this track looks like. Oh, this looks weird as hell. Oh, we've got the little spinning turbines down there. All right, let's let everybody get out of this funnel of death. And there we go. Now let's look. Skinny. Oh, the ball purple? Oh no, that's just the way it was shaded. Clarence in first place right now. Ooh, and he hit the little zoomy ball. Biggie's not far behind him, just on the opposite side of the track. Ooh, let's see what Clarence does. You gonna fly? Right through the tube. Didn't even get caught up. Man, Clarence and Biggie right now. It's gonna be a close one. Now I don't even know who's in real first or not. Clarence out there. Yeah. This is going to be a close race. Clarence makes it through. Oh. How did you... You jumped over the thing? How did that happen? And Donna takes the lead. Both of y'all jump from one to the other, and now Donna goes up and gets the lead. And oh, good Lord, Donna's going to win it. Checkered flag for Donna. Wow. Dre comes in second. Wow, Clarence. My God, Clarence, that was the craziest thing ever seeing you and Biggie just bounce back and forth. You skipped over. You jumped from one tube to the other. Good Lord. I don't even know how that happened. Congrats, Donna. You know how to hit up Jerry on Twitter. He'll get you that Cash App. Damn, that was a fun course, though. We'll have to remember that. All right. Let's end this show and go raid Barry. Where's my thing? There's the mouse. Let's go raid Barry on his nice, smooth deck. I know y'all want to go sit on Barry's nice big deck. Thank you guys for being here. We'll be back again 1 o'clock tomorrow. Just make sure you're here. Bring your friends, your family, your cousin, your uncle, except for that methy cousin. Crystal, no offense. I don't know how many meth heads we need on the in the odd squad. Thank you for the final bits, Crystal. Y'all have a great day. Well, again, we'll see you guys here tomorrow. All right, where's my raid button? There's my raid button. Let's go raid Barry. Peace.